Hey guys, what can I get started for you today?
Bananas away, regular?
And I'll have the rip berry, but can I get vanilla oat milk and I'll add spinach and ginger? And can I substitute the raspberries for strawberries? Also add the chia and hemp seed and definitely have the power booster and the collagen booster. And can I get that blended twice?
Wow.
For Alicia, Custom Chaos? One of a kind.
You're one of a kind.
Booster juice, freshly made, your way.
Faces around Lake Tahoe are legendary. But this fall, new ones will emerge in the Tahoe Basin. Pullman, Mowat, Gushu, and more. November 4th through 9th, the Grand Slam of Curling's first ever event in the U.S. is coming to Lake Tahoe, where the greatest rock stars on earth unite for 6 days of incredible curling, celebrity appearances, and après curl parties you won't want to miss. Get your tickets at thegrandslamofcurling.com. Let's rock.
That's life. That's what all the people say.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome once again to the continuing live coverage on Curling Stadium Edmonton from the Saville Mixed Doubles Classic. We're on to the playoffs here on Sunday morning. Sean Joyce here with you, Terry Corbin joining me. And we have got the American team of Cory, Thiesse, and Cory Dropkin, the two Coreys, against, of all things, an Edmonton team. There were quite a few of them, and a young Edmonton team at that here in this quarterfinal matchup. Gracelyn Richards and Zach Davies. Terry, have you had a chance to see many of the games this weekend?
Yeah, quite a few actually. Unfortunately, Gracelyn Richards and Zach Davies has not been one of them, but I feel like I should move in with the Coreys here. I've watched them play a lot, and just some fantastic shot making by both Thiesse and Dropkin.
Well, Thiesse and Dropkin did go through the round robin portion undefeated, and by virtue of that, they're the higher seeded team here. I don't believe they were drawing to the button. I think they had hammered this opening in because of that, throwing the red stones. Nice come around to start things off by Gracelyn Richards. She gets that to the top corner of the button. For those of you who have been with us all weekend long, you've seen a lot of this. It's a big part of the game. It's all jockeying for position early in the end. Some of the differences between the doubles and the four players, it's not just a free guard zone. It's free everything. You can't hit anything until after there are 5 stones in play, including your own. So you see a lot of this trying to get the angle set up right.
Yeah, and that's what the Dropkin Thiesse rink have been able to do, and they've also been able to recognize when they need to kind of try and break it up. And like I say, I've been very impressed with the curling here this weekend.
And there's been some outstanding movement towards the middle, although I will say on that last shot, that last little bit of movement at the end did not look natural. So I think that grabbed a little bit. Got them the angle they were wanted, if anything, maybe even curled a little bit too far, but it does give them an angle from the other side to play red onto yellow. And now Zach Davies going to try to set up a better angle for them.
Yeah, when I was doing the game with Corey McCusker, he thought that they might have papered the rocks there just prior to the event because he said previously they weren't getting that much curl and they were really curling. No, Friday, sorry, Friday.
Will come down to his own, taps it back and rolls off. That not what they were looking for.
Yeah. You would think that this would be fairly routine here in terms of making the double.
Yeah, the question will be how much weight does he throw? He doesn't
Yep.
actually have to kill the second yellow, but he'd
No.
like to get it well out of the 4-foot anyway. With that broom, I guess he's throwing some heat at this. There is air by the guard, so he's got room to do it.
Yeah, for the most part, Corey throws and sweeps his own rocks.
Gets the one, comes across, nudges the second one, moves it, I think, far enough to sit 2, but does leave it in the 4-foot.
Yep.
This is the first time I've seen the Coreys play this weekend, and I'm just looking at Dropkin's hand and thinking, well, you haven't seen a hand that looked like that since they got rid of the corn brooms. He's got a lot of tape on there.
He has swept a lot of rocks, let me tell you. A couple times yesterday, I said, I think Corey's going to ask a timeout between his throwing because he swept 2 end to end yesterday, and I don't know how he threw the third one.
Yeah, there's not much you can do about it in doubles. You can't just stand up and tell the guy, well, could you maybe throw the next one a little bit harder? Because you were the guy, right?
Yeah.
I actually, I haven't told it yet this weekend. One of my favorite mixed double stories, I was doing the Nationals in 2016 when it was held at my own club. 2016? It might have been 2017, actually. And John Epping, we held it 2 years in a row. John Epping was playing with Lisa Weagle, and of course gets up to sweep his own rocks. And John primarily is a skip.
Mm-hmm.
So he gets up, he's sweeping his own rock, comes all the way down the ice, and as he finishes up sweeping right in the top of the house, it's just a reflex for him. He throws his hand up, says, "Nice shot." But and you know where I'm going with that. But the best part of it was because Lisa, standing right there, busted on him right away. He said, "Did you just nice shot yourself?" And he stands up and looks around. He says, "Oh yeah, I guess I did." But it's funny. As a skip, it's a reflex. You only ever sweep that 10 feet into the house when you come out and help once in a while, usually just to stay warm. That's and then you tell your guy, "Nice shot."
Just making sure he gets accolades.
Well, with that last little movement around, I think it's the Korey sitting 3 right now. A chance to draw in for the 4th one. Now that yellow at the top 8-foot still available to be promoted in there. I think ideally, if you're Korey Dropkin here, you'd like to get a piece of this underneath that yellow at the 8-foot, just so that it can't be promoted in. This is out a long ways and looks like it might be a little strong.
Yeah.
Nudges one red, nudges another. I think they're still sitting 2. That would have almost been an old joke. You're drawing, you're sitting 3, drawing for 4, and after you finished, you're only sitting 1. Did touch
Right.
that second one, but didn't move it very far. And it has left an out here now for Davies and Richards to try and get one. You know, you put it back button here in front of that red stone on the center line. I don't know if you've got enough rocks left to get it out of there. You're not getting it out in one shot.
Yeah.
And you don't have a direct shot at it. There's no good angles. Normally, you'd like to put something in the top half of the house, maybe top of the button, but right now with all those reds around, I think you got to worry about putting this stone where it can't be removed.
Yeah.
I think I heard back 12. That's not what they were looking for here either. That's maybe
No.
the danger is you don't want to be light and you overthrow this.
I was going to say, might get a really good roll off that, but not really.
Looks to be edge to edge on the guard. Needs to get to the inside of it and get a little bit of a flop to the inside. Even nose might be okay because it'll miss the second shot or third shot stone at the back of the forefoot, crash on that other one, and then there might not be a double available because you can't get this one out past the yellow. I think his preference would be to flop inside a few inches anyway. By the front one, they'll be looking for finish now.
Yeah.
Didn't get it.
No.
So now just sitting 1. How much of that yellow at the top 8 foot can you see?
Yeah.
Enough.
That's the problem. If you ever got it in there, it leaves a red top
For
hit
1,
back.
though. Yeah, they're talking about trying to tap it through the port. I'd be trying to tap it straight back and chisel that red so that you're sitting 2, and then all you're giving up is 1. Talking about a guard, that's... Yeah, you're flirting with danger throwing a guard here. How do you guard the tap when they curl that hard? I mean,
yeah,
you'd almost have to have your guard in front of the yellow stone at the back of the 8 foot. So now Zach Davies going back down to the other end, and that makes me think that they have changed the shot. It's still, as they line up the yellow tap, and that looks like maybe that's what they're going to play now. It still looks to me like they're trying to tap it through the port. I still prefer if you could make it get to the nose of the yellow, tap it straight back, chisel that red over a little bit, sit 2. And then,
I think they're sticking with the original shot.
Yeah. I'm not sure what he was looking at then on the other
Yeah.
side. This is awfully heavy for a guard.
Left that red tap. No.
Well, it's there, but it's tough.
Yeah.
Just only has to move it a few inches.
Yeah. I was gonna looking if you might be able to come back to that back one, and
You'd have
probably
to
not.
roll in off
Yeah,
of it.
yeah,
So
yeah,
it's same issue. It's
yeah,
not any easier than the tap.
yeah. I guess you play T line and try and go around it, and if you tick the red, you get two. If you don't, you might get two the other way, just by drawing to the T.
This is the kind of shot that before we started on Friday, they might not even have played this shot. But after 2
Mhm.
days of watching how much finish there is here on draws, they know they can get there. Now, anytime now, if it's got the right weight, it should just start to walk over. There it goes. It's going to be by the high one. Does come to the yellow. Now, will it bounce far
Yep.
enough?
Hard to tell. I think it might be good. Pretty sure they said two.
Well, we know it's one for sure. We think
Yeah.
it's two. And that would give Thiesse and Dropkin the lead going into the second end. Richards and Davies will have last rock when we come back.
Hey guys, what can I get started for you today?
Bananas away, regular?
And I'll have the rip berry, but can I get vanilla oat milk and I'll add spinach and ginger? And can I substitute the raspberries for strawberries? Also add the chia and hemp seed, and definitely have the power booster and the collagen booster. And can I get that blended twice?
Wow.
For Alicia, custom chaos? One of a kind.
You're one of a kind.
Blister juice, freshly made your way.
Live curling rocks. And this November, the best in the world are coming to Tahoe. Get your seats now at gsoctickets.com. But hurry, early bird pricing ends soon.
Hey Ben, what's the Aztec Safety online e-learning website again?
Yeah, that would be aztecsafety.com.
Fire extinguisher and firefighting, we'll send that one to Paul.
Ah, now here's a course I should probably take. Conflict resolution.
Power line safety. Yeah, I thought it might help me with my line calls. Did you know this Aztec website has over 100 safety courses?
Jeez. Aztec Safety online course. Ground disturbance. Could have used that a few seconds ago.
Second end just underway here. Thiesse and Dropkin looking for that first draw. It appears they're playing it right down to the face. Gets
Yeah,
everything lined up.
that's where they excelled in the games that I watched. The first rock, they really kind of choked off an end right off the bat. In the two games that I did with them.
Well, it's still it's different now than it was originally under the original rules, and I happen to play under the original rules myself. They would put it right behind the pre-position stone was right behind the pinhole. So if you made that freeze,
Yeah,
you were shot. and it had to be moved. And quite frankly, it took 2 rocks to move it. Usually, if you made that freeze, it was just a question of how many you were stealing. There were even times when teams would win the toss and throw first.
Yeah.
So that move, the decision to move it to the back of the 4 foot, that has it's a bit improvement of the game, but it also forces a decision. Are you coming right back to the back one, or do you want to be top half of the button where you've got a better chance to perhaps steal, but it leaves it easier to get out? So that was good. That was a good decision. I like that one.
I'm going to beat on Cory a little bit. See, if you wore gloves, like we wouldn't even see that. But I think you're looking for a little sympathy now. So
well, that's not where I thought you were going to go when you said
I know.
Beat on him, because last end when he threw his second stone, he was drawing to sit 4, and by the time he finished throwing his own 2, they were only sitting 1, and the other team didn't move any of them.
Yeah. This seems to be kind of the sweeping mode in mixed doubles, where they get right behind the rock.
Yeah, it allows them to change directions a little faster. And of course, when you're sweeping with a slider on, it's tricky to go to the whatever you'd consider your offside for most right-handed throwers. If you've got a slider on, it's easier to sweep on what would be normally the thrower's left.
I've never swept with a gripper on, so I wouldn't know any different. But the technique is so good. Head over the broom, and a lot of weight being applied to the brush.
Not an issue with style so much as when you want to compare and contrast, there's a difference in the preference of the two teams. For Cory Dropkin, he gets up to sweep his own rock so that the line caller can be in the house, and for Davies and Richards, they decide that they'd rather have the sweeper available to get on it right away from her strong side. She's sweeping with a gripper there, and the thrower has to call the line in that case. But it's a subtle little thing, but it's certainly it's not as bad on the draws. But I've seen teams doing it even on the hits, and you cannot. I don't care how good you are, how fast you are at getting up, you can't get early brush strokes on when you're throwing your own stone. You're going to be 10 to 15 feet down the ice before you can get a brush stroke on it at best.
Yeah, for the most part, I mean, like I say, Cory Dropkin sweeps most of his rocks, regardless whether they're draws or hits. And I think the only time really that they've not used the sweeper is when Corey Thiesse has thrown a hit, and then Cory Dropkin's in the house, and
gets 1, gets 2, does touch the red stone on the way by. Still better for Thiesse and Dropkin. As we start to eliminate rocks, the other thing we maybe should point out, haven't seen it yet this weekend, but there's always the possibility. If you blank the end in doubles curling, you lose the hammer.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet this weekend either.
I did. The closest I got, I did see a team forced to take the single. Had to draw for 1.
Yeah, we saw that in the game last night. They were all 1s.
Yeah. Well, I saw it. I mean, in a 4-player game, they had the hit to blank. But they elected to draw. They could have hit for 1 too. It was out in the edge of the 8-foot though, so they elected to simply draw for the single. Wanted to get that one into the rings, and it's going to come up short. Leaves a staggered guard.
Yeah, that goes down as a miss, really.
It does, yeah. And the initial call from the Coreys is to come right to the back yellow one, but because it's a staggered guard, this is one of those situations where you could make that decision. Are we planning to cut them down or to play for the steal? Because if you were playing for the steal, certainly in 4-player, you'd put this in the top half of the button.
They've elected to play that in-turn draw.
They have. And the sweep alignment looks a little odd here. Cory Thiesse came down to sweep. She's not going to though. She's got a gripper on. I thought she'd be on the other side. That's normally the inside brusher on there, and then you'd leave Cory Dropkin with a slider on to sweep from his stronger side.
Yeah, it looks a little warm here. I missed number 2 there, really. Cory won't be happy with that one. Or the Coreys won't be happy with that one.
Yeah, you got to be careful what you say with this team.
Yeah.
Now, I think definitely here, Zach Davies would like to get this to the top half of the button.
Yeah, for sure.
Lots of room, and this one also looks like lots of weight. Has to get to the inside of this red, then you don't want to leave the double.
Yeah.
It's a thin double, but it's there.
Yeah. Strange that everybody's being heavy here now. I mean, yesterday we never saw that at all, really. I mean, if anything, they were coming up, a foot or 2 short.
Well, maybe a little overcompensation there because he did come up short on the last attempt, short. That's the yellow guard you see out there. I have to think all the discussion here is, are we playing the double or just the hit and roll? I can't imagine they're going to straight draw, because even if you make the straight draw, they can come off the yellow for 2.
Yeah, the draw would be a pretty aggressive play.
Yeah, well, if you make the freeze, look at where the redstone's going to be.
Yeah.
It's a pretty natural angle then to come off the yellow, kick it out sideways. So, and looking at where Cory Dropkin had his brush, this is what we're trying to hit. I think they're playing the hit and roll on top.
I do too. Yeah.
It is pretty thin to play the double, and with nobody in the house to call line, that's touchy.
Yeah, and this being the last shot, I think you want to protect against 3. They got the roll.
Got some roll.
Not, yeah.
Well, it's not easy, but it's there on this
It's there.
ice.
You're right, but you're right. It's not easy.
To be honest, I'm not sure it's there. It might be there from either turn, but it looks more natural from the in turn.
They just haven't been, curling like they seem to have been yesterday. But at the same time, I mean, you're talking draws versus,
Yeah, it's people tend to forget it, right? It's things that we've learned in the last, say, 20 years. It's rocks that curl, not ice.
That's right. Yeah.
And when they sand these rocks or condition them, call it whatever you want to call it, and they start to curl aggressively, it's still the issue is that they start to curl as they slow down. The slower the rock is going, the more it will bite and curl across. So you see these draws that sometimes look like they're going absolutely sideways. They curl really big because they're slowing down. As soon as you step the weight up, though, to play even something like this where she's got to play enough weight to tap it, it may never slow to the point that it takes the big move. And that's the thing. I saw lots of it this weekend. I don't know about you, Terry, but I saw lots of them this weekend where when they were throwing hits, if the misses were on the straight side, they didn't curl enough because, of course, you get it in your head that everything's going to curl. But as soon as you step the weight up, it doesn't curl nearly as hard because it never slows down to the point where it can grab. This looks like it's got a ton of room by the guard yet.
Yeah, it really does have a lot of. They're not going to get what they wanted here.
No, and they were sweeping on the straight side for a bit, thinking it was going to curl. That's what I was just talking about. That 5-6 feet extra weight, and it doesn't move the same. It's a steal of one for the Coreys. Thiesse and Dropkin take a 3-0 lead into the third end.
Developed over a decade in collaboration with the finest ice makers this side of the Atlantic, the Pebblehead PB5 is nothing short of a triumph of sophistication and craftsmanship. Weighing less than half its lumbering copper predecessors, yet boasting tenfold their durability, the PB5 delivers perfect, consistent ice, time after time. The PB5 by Pebbleheads.com, the apex of ice-making ingenuity for the roaring game of curling.
The 2025-2026 Grand Slam of Curling schedule is out, with big events happening all over Canada, like the Masters heading to London in September, the Tour Challenge from Nisku this October, the Canadian Open from Saskatoon in December, and the Players' Championship from Steinbeck coming in January. Early bird weekend and full event passes on sale now at gsoctickets.com. Let's rock!
Well, a bit of a missed opportunity in the second. Gracelyn Richards just didn't get the curl she needed. Might have had a chance for two. It ends up as a steal of one. And here again, as we begin play in the third, Cory Thiesse is just dialed right in to make that freeze at the back of the forefoot.
Yeah, I mean, yesterday they were automatic, man. And Dropkin put on a clinic with his hits. He was making doubles and triples and running back guards. And
nice brushing there by Zach Davies. Gets it by. And that's a good example of the difference in the curl between the draws. That one's just a back forefoot draw. It actually curls across the face of the red with that little bit of bump. I think the yellow's still shot, but it's also almost fully exposed.
Yeah.
Well, this time with Cory Thiesse down there to be in a brushing position, she does not have a gripper on this time. She's got her slider on. This is an unusual, yeah, to be down there, and yet there was never any intention of her brushing here. She did run the stopwatch. That's the only thing I can think of, is that they want to get some split times. Well, whatever they're doing, that one worked. It's corner frozen perfectly on the yellow. I'm trying to tell from the overhead how many who is sitting. I think it's just the red at the back of the forefoot, or the back of the button, is shot. The yellow at the side is second. That red at the top, that's such a good angle, though. It's, even if it hit, and it might be second.
Yeah.
But, you know, the other part of that for Richardson Davies, if they're going to score, they have to find a way to move some of these rocks. So it looks like they're going to chase from the same side, but I can't imagine this is a straight freeze. They've got to try to jiggle something somehow or another, even if it means moving their own stone off the side of the button right now. And on this most of the way down, will get by the front one. Taps the red. It does move that yellow out from the side of the button. Red sitting 2 now. They've got a decent angle of the yellow at the top of the forefoot. They still might have preferred if that red had spun just a couple more inches.
Mm-hmm.
The situation definitely better now for Richardson Davies, but they're not out of trouble yet. The 2 reds, just because of the angle, it's still tough to get them both on one shot.
Well, I'm wondering, can Korey throw kind of a bullet, get hit half of the yellow there, and spill that one and the potentially 2 backs?
Well, he could, but he's gonna create too much room in the button area if he does that. I don't think they want to do that. I have to think he's trying to get corner frozen to the inside of that yellow. Even right to the nose of it's not bad. You're trying to set up an angle so that if they had to play the yellow in, it's going to go by the 2 reds. That's why you'd like to get a sliver to the inside and then angle the red yellow to go by those 2 reds. But even if it was just angled so that all you could get was the back red one, it still doesn't open up any scoring area for Richardson and Davies.
I think they would be happy if this one just took away the yellow slash, really.
Yeah. Boy, you sure don't want to freeze to the outside of it. That just makes it easier. There it goes.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
And it almost is a straight guard. That works.
Yeah.
Except now they're going to try to get at it directly from the other side. It still takes 2 shots from this side to get that red off the side of the button. The back one's never going very far anyway. It's going to go into those 2 yellows at the back, but that'll still open up another, 8 inches of scoring area. They don't have anything right now. They talked about running the long guard into it. Might be the best result if you could make it, but you've got to make you've got to make contact with those 2. Oh boy. Well, that's a different shot altogether. Talking about red into the red that was just thrown, back into the yellow and towards those two reds in the button area. And again, as I see it anyway, the problem with this, you might open up yourself some room to score. All the guards are going to be gone. The one red at the back of the button is never missing the two yellows. So everything's going to be open after that. You're likely getting forced at best, but I guess right now a force probably looks pretty good because it's looking pretty steelish at the moment. Out turn for the left-hander, looking to drive the red center guard across the face of the one just biting the top of the 12-foot, and then see how much damage you can do in the house.
It's close.
That's not the damage they were looking for.
Yeah, that's right.
I think you're guarding.
I think that makes the most sense.
Yeah, well, I still don't. It did change things in the house a little bit, but the red double, if you weren't throwing now, if Davies and Richards were throwing, you could nose hit the red. I still don't know if the back red is leaving the house. It's hard. It doesn't look to me like there's enough room between those yellows. The second one's higher now, so it might go off the back end of it and leave, but it might not. And if you think it's going to take them 2 shots to get that out anyway, well, throw the guard. Now it takes 3 shots to get it out. They've only got 2 rocks left. This is going to have to curl. If he's got the right weight, it should finish.
Yeah.
Just wanted to take mostly the inside away.
Yeah.
Well, he left the nose. Didn't leave much more than the nose, but it is there.
Yeah.
I think what they're looking at is, can we get across the face just a little bit, roll underneath that red, and might be able to. Can't throw it as hard to do that. Which then means the top red's probably not leaving the 4-foot either.
That's right, yeah.
Mind you, if he sticks it out on the corner, it might be there for an in-off on the back one, which, at least puts a little bit more pressure on the Koreys. That's the tricky part of doubles when we don't have mics on them. So we know what they're looking at. We just don't know the weight.
Yeah.
We don't know the weight they've decided to throw. Like you could throw this with hack weight, just try to jiggle them around, and then it's more importantly get to the inside and try to roll behind cover, because you might leave a double on the reds. No, he's throwing bigger. He's trying to blast the reds.
Oh, he did. He got there. I thought he was going to wreck on the front. Wow.
But
yeah,
with that port, there wasn't room for it to go between them.
No.
It killed both yellows.
Yeah, you can see this here on the replay.
Connor's just been itching to throw a replay, so he was ready to go.
Yeah. Thanks, Connor.
As pretty as it looked, though, this is still a chance to hit rolling behind cover, sit 4. And Gracelyn Richards is going to have to try to draw to the edge of the button with her final stone. You don't even have to roll dead buried on this. Roll to split center. And it takes a little bit more of that edge of the button away. Off and on, so it's got to be close. Got the hit.
Nice shot. Beautiful.
She's got half the button available and has to find it with her last shot, drawing against 4. Already down by 3. And really, because she has to get by that red stone biting the top of the button, she's got to go just that little bit wider than she would have on the first shot of the end.
Yeah, this is a tough shot, man.
Yeah, it changes the path just a little bit. Zach with the brush down, but really just cleaning. Starting to move now as it starts to curl. You know the speed's coming off.
Got to get it by, but you got to sit too.
Oh, might have needed that little
she
rub.
Did.
Gets the spin and does pick up her single point. That's a big clutch draw there.
Wow, I'll say nice draw, Gracelyn Richards. Great sweeping too by Zach Davies.
Hard to earn a replay on a draw, but I don't even know if she needed the rub. I don't think it was heavy, even if it doesn't rub, but gets the little rub, spins into the button. We're 3-1 after 3 ends of play. It'll be Thiesse and Dropkin with last rock in the 4th.
Hey guys, what can I get started for you today?
Bananas away, regular?
And I'll have the rip berry, but can I get vanilla oat milk and I'll add spinach and ginger? And can I substitute the raspberries for strawberries? Also add the chia and hemp seed, and definitely have the power booster and the collagen booster. And can I get that blended twice?
Wow.
For Alicia, custom chaos? One of a kind.
You're one of a kind.
Booster juice, freshly made your way.
Developed over a decade in collaboration with the finest ice makers this side of the Atlantic, the Pebblehead PB5 is nothing short of a triumph of sophistication and craftsmanship. Weighing less than half its lumbering copper predecessors, yet boasting tenfold their durability, the PB5 delivers perfect, consistent ice, time after time. The PB5 by pebbleheads.com, the apex of ice-making ingenuity for the roaring game of curling.
Live curling rocks. And this November, the best in the world are coming to Tahoe. Get your seats now at gsoctickets.com. But hurry, early bird pricing ends soon.
That's life. That's what all the people say.
Well, here as we begin play in the 4th, you can see the opening draw has, well, it doesn't look like it moved the red. So did she over curl that far?
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's hard to
I
believe.
can't imagine it would have under curled and end up on the
Yeah.
edge of the four like that. So you'd have to think it was an over curl. And Cory Thiesse has not missed a draw yet. Puts that one in the top half of the button. You make that first draw, it sure puts the pressure on the other team from the opening salvo. And the difference here is they've got the last rock here. She's made it as a freeze. We've seen that a couple of times already. This time with last rock, she wanted it in the top of the house, and so that's where she put it. It's just, it's a simple game.
That's right.
Pretty nice draw by Zach Davies. Gets on the corner of that red, and I think they're on an angle where if you get a chance to play it, it's going to be close to clipping that back one.
Close, yeah.
Close enough that Corey Dropkin looking at, can we change the angle ever so slightly? Looking at trying to get to the inside of it, it's interesting that, you know, it looks more natural just to follow it, but it's actually probably easier to do on the other side. And that's what they're going to play. Play the in-turn down to it. It did look like they were thinking they'd like to try to move it a little bit, change the angle, or maybe create more room to get it by the red one eventually.
Mm-hmm.
Really just cleaning at this point, waiting for it to make the break. He's actually gone over to the curl side now, trying to help it across. Line's good now. It's a question of the weight. Can they move it? And if you're not sure about the weight, use a little bit of body English. Swing that broom. Tell it to get over there. And he does tap it enough that it could clear the red now. I think you could probably see just all of that yellow from the hack. So important for Zach Davies to do something to change the angles on that side of the sheet right now, because if you don't move anything, if you didn't throw, and I mean, he's never going to miss anything that bad, but if you didn't throw right now, where the yellows are, and with the weight Corey Dropkin can throw, he can double the two yellows, and I'm not sure any of the reds move. I think it might go across the top of the one at the back of the forefoot. So you got to move something here, get a better angle. This is the fun part of doubles, watching them try to manipulate these angles. And really, you got to do a couple of things here. If you're Davies and Richards, you want to change the angle, but then if this rock's going to be in good position, you actually have to move that yellow a couple of inches so you've got room to drive this one onto the red shot rock. You're asking for a lot from the other end of the ice when you got to move 1-2 inches on just the right angle. Needs to get just across the face of his own. This is close. This is really close. This is a great shot. And again, it might be lined up to clip the back one. Even if it's not, if you play yellow onto red right now, you're definitely shot rock at the side of the button. And I think the raise stone would be second. Cory Dropkin looks like he's put the broom down to blast the 2 yellows out of the side of the 4-foot. I think you got to hit everything you can of that rock to make this go. Probably won't be that terribly upset if he loses the red at the back of the 4-foot. Right now, it's starting to get pretty closed in. They do have a lead. They'd like to make sure they have a shot to score. And this is out there. I don't know if he's hitting the first one at all. He's not.
Yeesh.
Well, now yellow onto red definitely leaves yellow sitting too. The question is, how hard do you throw it? Because you don't want to roll away very much. You got to get the red most, if not all of the way out of the 4-foot at least. Scary to leave the red in play at all, depending on what the angles are like at the top. Like you're definitely going to have a double available somewhere. You'd hate to leave the red in play and leave a triple, but that is a possibility.
Yeah.
That amount of ice, I'm not sure they're throwing enough weight to move the red out of the button. Here in back line, which is not going to move that red very far. Might get it just out of the 4-foot. Gets
Hit
to
it
the
on
nose.
the right spot, yeah.
Yeah, it just wasn't the weight they needed for that shot. Moving 2 rocks on an angle. Back line was never going to move at 4 feet. Nose hit on the one that was just thrown will kill the 2 yellows in the 4-foot. Not sure he can get to the nose, though, with that kind of weight. And I think when Cory Dropkin got down to the hacks, he said, I can't see enough of that yellow to play the weight I want to play for the double. So they're going to play the red. I think I heard him say 9.5. So kind of a normalish takeout weight. He's got to hit this fairly thin. He'd like to stick the red right at the top of the 4-foot. So half a rock's probably too thick. It's still coming in at an angle. It should double those yellows.
That is curling right out of his hand, is it not?
We didn't have a ton of ice there. It's pretty good.
Nice shot, yeah.
Yeah, they were probably hoping it wasn't going to spin back like that.
Yeah.
It's still tough to get to the double. You can't do it with full weight because you can't quite see the nose of that red.
Yeah, you don't want to hit it high side where it misses the red and takes the back yellow out either.
Yeah, I'm not sure. They're talking about throwing it quiet and trying to leave a pocket back there. The problem is the pocket's going to be too wide. You're going to leave a nose hit for 3. I think you have to make sure you throw enough weight to kill something here. Zach Davies looking at the slash on the yellow. That might not be bad just because it's at a better angle to get to the to get a stone buried. Like if you angle the yellow in, smash the red, you should make the double and leave the raised stone buried. This has got to be a draw. This is a draw against possibly giving up 3 when you're already down 2. This is a risky call. It's there on this ice for sure. She probably has to chisel off the red, try to get behind the yellow in the 8-foot. And then the double's probably too risky for Cory Thiesse to take on. Made an outstanding draw with her final stone in end number 3 to pick up the single. This one is not going to be any easier. Davies on the brush, just has it down firm, clean right now.
Gonna curl a long way.
Waiting for it to break. This is the problem. They had to throw a little bit more weight. Well, no, she doesn't look heavy. Stays on the outside. If it taps it enough that she is, or gets in enough before the tap that she's got second shot, but there is probably room to get to the inside of that. Play it like a draw weight split. Just move it out of the 4-foot and get your 3 that way. Talking about possibly making it off the shot stone too. That's an option because you got a lot of room for that shot stone to go before it wouldn't be still counting. That's more weight than I would have expected them to play on it. They might be thinking, nose hit, and it's interesting that the angle's close. You nose hit the yellow, it clips the red, which goes directly onto that yellow at the back of the 8-foot. The only thing is, if you're sliver high, you just dead jam it. It's a steal of 1.
Being up 3-1, I think it's worth the risk here.
Well, I was still thinking you could make it with quieter weight and avoid some of this risk, but it does look like the angle's certainly close. With a nose hit, it's going to be awfully close to just dead jamming on that yellow at the back. She's throwing it quieter. She's trying to get to the inside. This is going to get to the inside for sure. It's a question of whether or not it's going to get by the guard, and it's not.
No.
All over the front one. And dead light. Like, this wouldn't have had the room to move it if she gets there. So it'll be a single point for Thiesse and Dropkin. They'll take a 4-1 lead after 4 ends of play. Richards and Davies dodge a bit of a bullet there, and they'll have last rock in the 5th.
For over 20 years, the Sandra Schmirler Foundation has granted more than $9 million to hospitals across Canada for life-saving equipment for premature and critically ill babies. In the past 4 years alone, $4 million has been granted thanks to the curling community's incredible generosity. the need continues year-round, and with your help, we can ensure every baby has the chance to grow up and become a champion, just like Sandra.
Welcome to the RockShop.net, the official store for the Grand Slam of curling. Whether you're looking for the best hats, stylish clothing, fun toys, or unique accessories, the Rock Shop has it all. Shop online anytime at the RockShop.net for exclusive Grand Slam of curling gear, or come see us in person at your next event. The RockShop.net, where fans find their favorite curling gear.
Sean Joyce, Terry Corbin with you here live. Connor Sims on production with Curling Stadium Edmonton, and this is our continuing live coverage of the Saville Mixed Doubles Classic. We're into the playoffs here on Saturday. Sunday. Quarterfinal action here. Cory Thiesse a little light on her last attempt, but she's still dialed in for those freezes at the back of the forefoot.
Oh, God, yeah.
We want to thank those of you watching from wherever you happen to have joined us. Hope you've been enjoying the action all weekend long and all season long, and we'll continue to enjoy it. A lot of events yet to come on Curling Stadium this, let's call it this season, because some of them will go into the new year as well. If you haven't had a chance to do so yet, if you could click like and subscribe, you'll be alerted to all of the upcoming action throughout the season. Gracelyn Richards here looking to follow that red down and come just to the corner of it. This is going to have to move. A little warm. She'll nudge it, but spins to the back 8 foot. We don't have mics directly on the players, but there are mics on the cameras, so we do pick up the odd thing. I can hear them shouting there. I can't make out what they were saying, but I got to think he wants to be... I think you could lock this right on the face of your own red. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You might even force Zach Davies to have to do a little bit of cleanup action, just to make sure they've got room to score. Which is not something they want to do down 3. They'd like to find a way to build an end, but they're in trouble already early in this end. And you know, the thing about mixed doubles, when you only get to throw 5, early is still late.
Yeah.
You don't have a lot of rocks to manipulate your way out of trouble. And that's pretty good. There are 5 rocks in play now. He could make a... I thought they might look at the run. I think he's still looking at trying to come to the face of that one that was just thrown. And ideally, you'd like to at least move it if that's what you're playing. By the front one, will chip that red stone, moves it back, and a little spin back of his own just to hang on for second shot. Probably the best he could do with that weight. Still leaves room for Cory Dropkin to get to the inside of that stone, roll back to the top of the button, and now the wall of reds at the back of the forefoot is going to make it real tough to get this one out. Terry, we saw Gracelyn Richards make an outstanding draw to the side of the button to pick up their single point in the third. The way this end is starting, she might be wishing she had that much room to draw with.
Yeah.
Moves it just far enough that I think it is red sitting 3. Now there's probably room to get in on the out-turn side, or in-turn actually. Zach Davies is the left-hander. Didn't get the roll under that they were looking for, but it's pretty much taken everything away on, as we look at the house, is the left-hand side of the sheet. There's no way in there now, but the right hand, you could get to the pocket of those 2 reds at the back. This is kind of a must make now, or there might not be a shot to score.
Yeah. This is critical.
Well, and we've seen this a few times where you take a situation where, geez, I can't be light here. Can't be light.
Yeah.
And you throw a little bit more weight, and then it doesn't get the curl. Like, he's got to get to the pocket. It's not good enough to freeze to the outside red one. He's got to get to the pocket. Still out there. And nothing out of the brusher yet.
No, it's trying hard to carve it.
Yeah, that's what I was just saying. It's just so easy to look at that and say, well, I can't be light. And he's a little bit heavy. And you can't be, because if you're that little bit heavy, it doesn't curl the same. He might have shot rock for now, but there's room to get to the inside of it for Cory Dropkin, and not even critical that he moves it very far. You'd maybe like to move it enough to make sure you're sitting 2. I think it's close for what? Excuse me, it's close for 1 right now. Just because of the way the rocks are sitting in the house, it's not even as critical for Cory Dropkin to get to the inside. He could probably get away with nose, because if you tap it straight back on the nose, you're going to have a wall of 3 rocks at the back that, it's going to be very hard to get this particular stone out. And he's already got a stone on the other side that he can use. He'd love to get a sliver to the inside, but I think even nose is pretty good here. Felt something there. Picked up the brushing earlier on this one, so the line's got to be close.
Yeah, it looks a little light. Oh, you may get that there.
It's not to the inside yet. There it goes. Had to go for weight, though. So
Yeah.
Had the right line at the end. Still a problem for
Oh, for sure.
Richards and Davies, because the two stones at the top of the 4-foot are both in good position for Dropkin and Thiesse. And how do you do anything about either one of them?
I know.
Okay, this could matter. So who's got? Let's see, 1, 2, 3. Who's got fourth right now?
I don't.
There's the 3 stones around the outside that are all, 3/4 in the 4-foot, and that could matter in a hurry here.
Well, I mean, we know red's 2. I would think they're 3.
Well, red's got shot, I think. Yellow is second, and red at the top is third. But you could slash that into the one on the side of the button.
Oh, easy, yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. Is that a shot to sit 4? You got to be a little careful of the weight you throw, I guess, because you don't want to roll off. That would create too much room. And you've got the tap in on the other side. Like, just promote the one that Korey just threw to where he was originally trying to get it. And at least you're sitting 2, and I'm not seeing any way to get him out. That's the problem that the U of A team is having. They've called their timeout. It looks like you need at least 2 shots to create more room, and you've only got 2 left. That's a problem.
Yeah.
Can't see the edge of your own yellow to try to chisel it over.
No.
Any attempt to move either of the ones at the reds at the top, which you probably still have to try to move one of them, but it's going to put the red into a better position on the first attempt.
And there's no sense really playing that in-turn draw to the yellow one, because that's not going to help you.
Gracelyn's Richard's idea to get to the pocket, basically the 2 reds, and just try to move it a couple of inches, change the angle. It's maybe not a bad idea. It's really tough to do. That might have been one of those cases, and I haven't ever used this one in doubles. I've used it in 4-player play before. I've had the odd time as a coach where the team will call you out on a timeout, and you can't say this, but when they say, "Well, what do you like here, coach?" Well, I'd like to be throwing red. I'd like to be throwing red.
Yeah,
because the yellows are kind of hooped here.
Yeah,
they're looking at playing the run now. This is why I thought they might have. Maybe should have looked at this earlier.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you could drive this back, so if we look at the overhead view, have it come back towards the one on the left side of the 4-foot first. It clips the yellow. The yellow, I mean, if you can clip it thin enough, it actually could slash kind of into the pocket of those 2 reds, move them both. I don't think you're getting the one on the back of the button out ever, but you got to move some of those rocks at the back just to have room to get in for the last one. I would be afraid if you ever slash this into the pocket of those 2 reds, you You might move more yellows than you do reds.
It's curling, eh? It's close.
It's close.
He's got it almost the way he wanted to hit it too, I think.
Yep. Yeah, I would have liked to nudge that red. But
Yeah, I know.
Got into the side of it, but didn't really move it. Maybe a little fortunate where the shooter ended up, because you can see my first thought was, until we looked at the camera angle, you can't get to the red at the top of the forefoot because the angle is perfect for that one to drive it onto shot rock. I don't think you get there with draw. It'll move that much. Cory Dropkin looking at coming off the red. There's a lot of risk with that. I think, well, depending on who you think is shot right now, maybe it's yellow.
I kind of like that shot because I think they're going to play it. They're going to have to play it potentially. They being Richards and Davies.
Yeah, I still don't mind the draw weight tap. Come around on the intern side. It is overburied, but if you're throwing draw weight, it will go that far. Tap the red onto the yellow. And now that red's a full rocks width higher. I'm not sure coming off the side one would get you shot rock. Yellow might be shot already, in which case you can't hurt yourself playing this one.
I think it's certainly possible.
Yeah. Makes the hit. Now, is it going to come across enough? No.
No, I think they come in off of that, and they might get two.
Yeah.
You throw the draw, and guess you can't really throw the draw. You have to just.
Well, you could throw it like a chisel draw.
Yeah.
Might be the easiest way to get there, to be honest. Throw about back 8-ish and just chisel in off that. It's hard to throw it with full hit, because you throw full hit, you're going to want to hit it a little bit thicker. You hit that too thick, you're not going to get enough of the forefoot, or pardon me, enough of the button. You're looking at like to roll in steep enough. You're not hitting more than half. A little less would be better, because you look at where you're making contact. You're well in front of the button where it makes contact, and you need to spin in to get a good half of the button. So you need half or less on this so that the heavy draw would work. I actually like that idea. Just chisel in off of it. It does make the line call a lot tougher. These are the types of shots you see in doubles, though. Everything's a finesse shot.
Yeah, you know what? I mean, and we were talking about this yesterday, is how many people that I know are talking about the play in this mixed doubles really is kind of practice for them and confidence for them.
Line's close because they've had them switch back and forth a couple of times. Oh, this might go by the red altogether. A tick.
No.
Didn't hurt themselves, but didn't help themselves. Zach Davies touching the yellow, and Cory Dropkin confirms it is a single point. Outstanding run back by Zach Davies on his first to give them the chance to score. They only pick up the single, but that does close the gap. It's now 4-2 after 5 ends of play.
Hey guys, what can I get started for you today?
Bananas away, regular?
And I'll have the rip berry, but can I get vanilla oat milk and I'll add spinach and ginger? And can I substitute the raspberries for strawberries? Also add the chia and hemp seed, and definitely have the power booster and the collagen booster. And can I get that blended twice?
Wow.
For Alicia, Custom Chaos.
One of a kind.
You're one of a kind.
Blister juice, freshly made your way.
Live curling rocks. And this November, the best in the world are coming to Tahoe. Get your seats now at gsoctickets.com. But hurry, early bird pricing ends soon.
Hey Ben, what's the Aztec Safety online e-learning website again?
Yeah, that would be aztecsafety.com.
Fire extinguisher and firefighting, we'll send that one to Paul.
Ah, now here's a course I should probably take. Conflict resolution.
Power line safety. Yeah, I thought it might help me with my line calls. Did you know this Aztec website has over 100 safety courses?
Thiesse. Aztec Safety online course. Ground disturbance. Could have used that a few seconds ago.
Well, not the start that Gracelyn Richards would have been looking for here in this sixth in. She comes up short, taps her own guard. It does leave a double center. You know, if you were playing four-player curling and you were in the we must steal scenario, you'd be okay with the double center.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
The problem with that is here, Cory Thiesse just doesn't miss her first shot. And if she puts this one on the top of the button again, it's real tough to set up a steal. Line is looking real good. Might have left this a little short.
Yep.
I think they got fooled on that one because they certainly weren't brushing and the line always looked good. On this ice, that's essentially just a third guard.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a guard that could end up on the scoreboard, but right now it's Zach Davies a chance to get around that, and really he can bury around that, still be in front of the T line. They might be happier right now to make sure they get down to the back one and cut down the scoring area, but opportunity one way or the other. Nice line coming by. And does make the freeze to the back one.
Nice shot, yeah.
And I think Corey Dropkin already looking at how many guards can I make go away.
Mm-hmm.
Just
this is what they were good at yesterday. You know, picking their opportunities to.
Yeah. What's the sixth end? You know, you're up by 2. You want to make sure you have a chance to score with last rock, and there's just too many rocks on the center line in front of the button right now. The question, I think, would be with this one, Terry and I didn't. They talked about it, but they didn't show us. Is he just trying to double peel the guards, or is he trying to stuff this right back? Everything's in a line.
Yeah.
Like from the hacks, he can probably only see one rock, and there's 5 of them there. Trying to go straight back with this, do you think?
I kind of think maybe he is.
There's just enough stagger that you could hit this and probably get everything moving and leave nothing on the center line. I mean, you jam a couple, but it's still off center. I think he was just playing the double peel and just misses the second one.
Yeah.
Well, if you want to try to pick up the steal, Zach Davies, if he could come down and make that exact same freeze, this time on the yellow, he'd be on the pinhole, needing probably 2 shots to move it. And you can't see it to make the first one. Yeah. Whatever you just threw, throw that again.
Throw it again, yeah.
Well, this one might be out a little farther. They've already switched around to the other side looking for curl. They played this as a straight guard. That's surprising.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised too. You start to wonder, like, wow, was that just a miss throw, or is that where they really wanted to go?
Yeah, or did you get panicked by the fact that he played a peel in the last one? Because
Yeah.
really, you still got 2 guards. Well, you don't need 3.
Yeah.
Talked about throwing the out turn this time, but they're going to stick with the in. Definitely tighter line early. He's got 1. He's got 2. And he gets his shooter far enough out of the way that
Yeah.
well, there's room to throw a weighted shot in there. I don't know that there's room to throw a draw from that in-turn side. Now you might have to throw a guard. This is a long ways out there.
Mm-hmm.
You got to cover a piece of the red, or they're probably bringing it straight back. Working hard on the brush now. Can she bring it far enough to cover a piece of that?
Should be, yeah.
Yeah, it covers most of it. Cory Dropkin looking at the run again. Yellow on to red. This time, I think, trying to run it straight back and disturb those 2 at the back of the button. Probably wouldn't be heartbroken if he just made everything fly here. At least then they know they've got a shot to score.
Yeah.
The interesting thing about this one will be if he was to just peel the guard here, what do you do if you're Gracelyn Richards? Do you throw a straight guard and leave him the draw? Or do you try to get another one in there?
Mm-hmm. Good question.
We're not going to find out
Made
because
this.
it does clip the one. Yeah. I hope they take a minute to talk about this, because what are you guarding? Like, they don't have a shot for 2 if you don't throw. If you guard the yellow stone, they've got the same draw. You're not guarding anything. you may as well freeze to it.
Yeah.
Like, at least they've talked about trying to come tighter. They're trying to take away the draw path, but the way this ice curls, you can't. You can't take away the draw path without leaving the nose hit. So if you can't guard anything, why not freeze to it?
Yeah.
Trying to make this curl, and again, I'm not sure why. Like, the hit was never for more than one. That didn't take the draw path away at all.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I'm not sure why they didn't kind of come right in.
You know, it looks good because you guarded the rock in the back of the button, but it doesn't change your shot. Like, this is the shot she was probably playing if you didn't throw. She could hit it if she had to. The problem is the yellow's not going anywhere and you wouldn't have anywhere to roll. So she was probably playing the draw all day anyway. And you didn't take it away. You didn't even change it. That guard's not even not a factor. It would be an aggressive call, but if you manage to freeze it right on the button, there's a pretty good chance you're stealing. And in fact, she's probably got to try to blast it just to hold you to one.
Yeah.
Does have to have the weight to make the draw, though.
Yeah.
Cory Dropkin has been working on this.
It's close.
Line's going to be good. That's not the issue.
I think she's got it.
Puts it right on the pin. Cory Thiesse, an outstanding draw with her final stone. She has been dialed in on that draw weight all day long, and this is a good example of just how much they move at the end. Look how far that came by the guard.
Yeah.
And if she'd have needed it as a perfect come around, that's what she ended up with. The guard, not really a factor to stop that shot at all. Put a point on the board for Thiesse and Dropkin here in 6.
Developed over a decade in collaboration with the finest ice makers this side of the Atlantic, the Pebblehead PB5 is nothing short of a triumph of sophistication and craftsmanship. Weighing less than half its lumbering copper predecessors, yet boasting tenfold their durability, the PB5 delivers perfect, consistent ice, time after time. The PB5 by Pebbleheads.com, the apex of ice-making ingenuity for the roaring game of curling.
The 2025-2026 Grand Slam of Curling schedule is out, with big events happening all over Canada, like the Masters heading to London in September, the Tour Challenge from Nisku this October, the Canadian Open from Saskatoon in December, and the Players' Championship from Steinbeck coming in January. Early bird weekend and full event passes on sale now at gsoctickets.com. Let's rock!
So with just 2 ends left to go here in this quarterfinal matchup, we will see our first power play. Depending on how things go here, we may see the other one in the next end. Well, they may have finally found a way to get a miss out of Cory Thiesse. We didn't see her first stone, but it doesn't appear to be in play. So maybe they tried the tick shot on the corner guard and missed everything, or killed it. One or the other.
Killed it, yeah. Yeah, you kind of wonder, eh?
Yeah, well, it looks like they might be trying it again. I have to assume that's what they tried in the first one. Now, either she killed it, in which case everything goes back,
Yeah.
or she went right by everything. But with this broom, it looks like they're playing it again.
You almost think you'd have to open up that potential double.
Now, he's trying to get to the yellows and move them. You cannot kill anything yet, though.
Oh.
Just rubs the guard, not enough to move it. Well, how greedy are you now if you're
I know,
Richards and Davies? Like, you try to put another one back there. You've seen the weight that Corey Dropkin can throw and how well he throws those run backs. He's going to try to run the red one back and make contact with something yellow. Or do you throw, and that might be what they're talking about right now. You could throw to the 4-foot on the open side. And
I mean, I think, that's been the traditional move, is to go to the other side.
Yeah.
At least it was in the games that we
looks
did
like
yesterday.
That looks like they're talking about coming around again. It's the way to score a huge end, but it's also you're one shot away from disaster.
Mm-hmm.
You throw to the open side, there is also the possibility that Corey Dropkin could decide to slash the corner guard into it, and then he opens up the double at the same time. He could get two things out of it. He might be able to see enough of the yellow on the outside to make the double now. Risky to play it.
Yeah, I've even seen here where they've tried to just go around and the guard and like just get behind the guard.
Well, that's probably the best he could do with it if you're slightly, but I mean, it kind of takes away Corey might have been able to see enough of the yellow to play the double without even having to worry about the guard.
Right. Yeah.
And he kind of took that away by, essentially Christmas treeing it, coming out around the guard from the wide side. And at the same time, the run back's there, but he didn't make the target any wider. Like, it's still, you're running it back essentially at one. You can't run it back at the back yellows. You have to make contact with the first one. You can't get at any of the others. And that's so many of the times when you try to come around on a stone like that, you just give them a wider target to run it into. Probably did the best they could, and yet there's still the chance that all three yellows could fly here. One touches the one that was just thrown. We'll remove it. Yeah, decisions. There is a double available in the corner, but if you come around the center, he makes the double on the corner. You come around the center again, you're still going to get a chance for two, maybe three. You guard, he's running it back. You're still not going to be in a position to score more than... Well, I mean, I guess if the double's missed, it's not a gimme double by any means.
No.
It's really easy to stick that top one. Anything, even half a rock, it might not leave. I mean, if you hit half from the center line side, it probably goes because it doesn't have to go very far. If you hit it from the outside, they're so dead lined up. I guess you could play it from either side. This looks like they're playing the guard because Gracelyn Richards is standing on the side where she'd be the
yeah.
inside sweeper going towards the corner. You might throw one guard. I don't think you can throw two. You throw one guard, Dropkin probably tries the run again to see if he can get all three yellows. But if you throw the next one, Cory Thiesse is just going to go around the center. So you'd have to come in on the next one. Yeah, I think you want to be real careful about not switching too early on these. They come sideways off the center line. Does he have the weight? Is it going to get over?
Not bad.
Oh, that's really good. I mean, you couldn't have made the run back any tougher.
Nope.
He might have to decide to play the chase, but I mean, if you're Richards and Davies, you're happy with forcing them to play the chase right here?
Yeah.
He's going to play the chase with I heard board.
Little risky.
A little risky, and this is where it gets interesting because, of course, you watch those. We just talked about it. The draws coming off the center line just moves so hard. But again, with board weight, we talked about this earlier. It's not slowing down the same, and it may not curl nearly as hard. You cannot afford to go buy everything here. You go buy everything here, and 4 is in play.
Oh, yeah. This has got to curl a whole bunch.
It's by everything.
At nothing.
Okay, 4's in play, but where are you going now?
Yeah.
You go around the corner again. You know that Cory Thiesse is going to draw around the center and try to steal the end. You go around the center. She's going to follow you and try to take the end away.
Yeah, I mean, me, I'm going around those corners, or that corner.
And I think that seems to be what Gracelyn Richards wants to do. Zach Davies is wondering the same thing I am, is how good can she make that draw? Can we still chase it? You make this, any good at all. She's drawing around the center. You overcurl, they might try to chase again, try to sit on the corner. They're calling room, but again, these go sideways off that center line.
I know.
There it goes. Oh, you might be warm here.
Ooh, yeah.
Well, this might talk her into trying the draw that way. Take it all the way back now, so that if she does freeze to it, she'll still be third. It's not a horrible spot for it. Well, pick your poison. If you're Cory Thiesse, do you come around the center, or do you try to sit on the corner of those yellows? And sitting on the corner of the yellows with as hard as it moves towards the wing is a real tough shot. You overcurl, they're already sitting 2.
Yeah.
You chisel off, it's a hit for 4. if the center guard, they're going to call timeout, talk about this. If the center guard was actually right on the center line, they might be more inclined to try to come around it. The problem you have here is that that's not quite the line that they've, the center, like we talked about last time, that draw to the button.
Yeah.
You play that all the time in doubles. But here you need to throw a draw to the side of the button, and it's a different line. Cory Thiesse looks like she's really prefers the chase to a corner freeze.
I personally like going around the center, but
yeah, I think that's the hesitation from them, is that center is not a true center. And they'd have to find a way to bury a rock that's around a guard that's 6 inches off the center line, which is just, they maybe don't feel as confident that they know how to get there.
But I think, ultimately, you just have to be full 8, and you can show them literally a piece of on the over curl side. They might be talking to Kathy Overton. Keep panning. Yeah, I think they're talking to Kathy Overton.
Yeah. Okay, I should have done this once or twice earlier in the game. I can't believe I didn't. Looks like Korey wants to go around the center guard, but Korey wants to freeze to the corner guard, to the rock on the corner of the 8-foot. I'm pretty safe if I say it that way. It looks like Dropkin's idea is to come around the just off center guard. Thiesse has been standing over for most of the discussion, talking about those 3 on the side. She's just maybe more comfortable drawing to the corner. And I think it's got to come down to the fact that this guard is just off center, because she has been absolutely wired on those draws to the middle. But this is not exactly the same path. Doesn't matter how well she buries this. Like, if you're dead behind and you don't think you can chase it, I think score dictates that Gracelyn Richards going to have to try the run back for 3.
Mm-hmm. Isn't that one at the biting at the back? Are they not currently sitting 3?
Yeah, but
if
she buries this, she'll have to play the run back. It's the red guard. She's going to be running back.
Yeah.
And if she leaves any piece sticking out from either side, then you try to finesse it out for 4.
Whoa. Yeah, perfect. That's all you could do.
Yeah, really it is. You bring it deeper, she can probably chase it to get it out.
Yeah.
The run back is not a gimme, because one red stone or the other's got to be coming towards something yellow. Like if you hit this ever so slightly on the center line side, clip the red at the top of the 8, it at the very least is coming towards that one at the back yellow, or the very back of the 12-foot, which could cut you to 2. This has to be made perfect to be for 3. You can't hit it. I don't think you'd have to be very fortunate to run the red back so that it makes contact with the one in the house on the center line side. It'd be very lucky to get it to miss all the yellows if it was going that direction. So you got to kind of drive this across the face. And now the nice thing, I guess, if in that respect for Gracelyn Richards, if you just dead stuff this, I think you've got 2. But if you could make what is essentially about a 6 or 7 foot double, it's for 3.
Yeah, I guess, you're right. If you do stick it, it is 2.
lot of rotation. This is close. It's going to
Close.
have to go the hard way.
Oh, they know. Look at this. Oh, my Lord. One
was-
way you couldn't hit it.
Yeah, it comes right across into the 2 yellows, so it's a steal of 1. Thiesse and Dropkin now with a 6-2 lead coming home. It will still be Davies and Richards with last rock, and I guess we won't see the other power play.
That's right. I'm betting on it. What an unfortunate break.
Hey guys, what can I get started for you today?
Bananas away, regular?
And I'll have the rip berry, but can I get vanilla oat milk and I'll add spinach and ginger? And can I substitute the raspberries for strawberries? Also add the chia and hemp seed, and definitely have the power booster and the collagen booster. And can I get that blended twice?
Wow.
For Alicia, custom chaos?
One of a kind.
You're one of a kind.
Twister juice, freshly made your way.
Developed over a decade in collaboration with the finest ice makers this side of the Atlantic, the Pebblehead PB5 is nothing short of a triumph of sophistication and craftsmanship. Weighing less than half its lumbering copper predecessors, yet boasting tenfold their durability, the PB5 delivers perfect, consistent ice, time after time. The PB5 by Pebbleheads.com, the apex of ice-making ingenuity for the roaring game of curling.
Live curling rocks. And this November, the best in the world are coming to Tahoe. Get your seats now at gsoctickets.com. But hurry, early bird pricing ends soon.
That's life. That's what all the people say.
Well, as we begin play here in the 8th end, the attempted freeze to start the end off. And this sounds harsh. The worst one that Cory Thiesse has made, because it's just a little bit offline. Her weight's still perfect.
I know. I was just gonna say, like, shame on you, Cory.
Yeah.
Shame on you.
She's still biting the back of the button, though. You don't know. They might actually.
I was just gonna say, you know, they may have called that too.
Yeah, because it's actually angled so that they can kill the back one. You're 4 points up here. You can't throw hits for a while, but then it's critical to have some angles where if you're right on the nose, you might never get a chance to hit them. Whether they played it that way or not, it actually worked out. Now, nice shot by Gracelyn Richards. She taps it back and changes that angle. I had a chance to see an end like this earlier on in the event, a team that was 4 down with coming home, and they were able to manipulate angles around. They did not have a shot in the end, but they manipulated the angles around in such a way that the team that was 4 points up never got a chance to play a hit. The angles were just no good for them. So that's kind of the best you can do here if you're Richards and Davies. Try to manipulate the angles and then hope you've got something left at the end. But if you can keep your opposition from eliminating rocks, it gives you a chance. Anyway, this is still just the 5th rock of the end with the pre-position one, so they can't throw a hit yet here. They only get 3 chances to hit, and if you don't leave them any angles where they can make something go away.
This looks pretty good.
Well, it's in a good spot for now, but again, nothing yellow leaves right now.
Yep, that's right. If you hit that red one on the high side, on the side that we can see more of the rock, I wonder if the drag just allows it to clip the yellow too.
Maybe, but I think you're going to try to change that angle a little bit here.
think
You want to
you
stay
gotta,
corner frozen and tap it a couple of inches, and I mean it's a thick quarter. You want to be like 3/4 on the nose of the red.
This is way out there. Really got to curl.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't think it's going to.
Well, this could shorten
Might
up
have
the rest
swept.
of the end. Might have left
Yeah.
a triple.
Yeah, I was
Double
gonna
for
say,
sure.
Yeah, should have probably swept that and tried to get it by.
Even if you just hit the one that was just thrown right on the nose, get that red back one out of there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's critical. Anything behind the tee line is not your friend.
I'm not sure what the timeout is for. Is he? You could actually make an argument for running the guard too.
Yeah.
If you peel the guard,
yeah,
there's definitely a triple on the yellows right now, and they've got to do something about it. And if you happen to catch something on the way by, that doesn't hurt you either.
I like removing the guard myself, but I just think there's so much around that 4 foot that removing the guard is.
Removing the guard gives you a chance to make a play on the stone on
Yeah.
the top of the button. And, I mean, ultimately, Richards and Davies need to look at how they're going to move that stone too. So
That's
they
right.
can't just straight guard it.
Corey's pretty adamant too. I think that playing the.
I don't see anything bad here. I mean, if you're way off the line you need, if you just straight peel the guard, that's not bad. If it makes contact with anything in the rings from the angle that it's coming at, I don't see how a yellow one doesn't leave.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
And if you're right on the nose, I think 2 yellow ones leave, and the other one probably spins into the open. Well, he's definitely not wide. It's close. 1, 2, 2 leave.
Perfect.
Well, it makes the last few decisions easy.
Yeah, you're up 4. I mean, this was totally in the realm of best selection of shots, and as you say, like, I mean, 2 yellows just go so easy, and you need 4 to score. So
Yeah, you have to come around now. You've got nothing else to hide behind.
yeah, like.
And you could make a case if they bury this perfect, just straight peel the guard because there's nothing to freeze on either.
Yeah. First time I've seen either Gracelyn or Zach. Certainly, I just watching Zach here throw the last. Really good, smooth delivery. Young pair here. I believe that's wearing the University of Alberta.
Yeah,
outfit.
I think I've seen Gracelyn playing with her 4-player team, but I'd have to.
Is that right?
I'd have to think about that. They might have been. That might be a U25 team too.
Yeah,
her 4-player team.
Yeah. Well, it's a Sunday. You've had a long week, and I wouldn't want you to start off the week having to think too hard.
That's that's going to be a long day yet too. I think all the discussion here was just how high do we want to put this. You come right down to it. They blast the guard, and this one might be one where it's not necessarily critical to be shot rock here because there will be a double available on the reds later. You might want to leave this high, and then at least there's a chance that they could jam something somewhere. That's not what they've done, though.
No. So he just peels the guard again.
Yeah. It looks like he's thinking about the run back.
Yeah,
I don't love that, because the only way you don't have an open shot on the next one is if you hit, 7/8 here, miss the back ones, and don't roll all the way off. I'd be tempted to peel it the other direction towards that rock at the corner of the 8, because if that goes away, that's just one less rock that you could jam on the next one. Because they've got to come, you would think, to the top 8 foot on the next one, right? Top 8, top 12, and hope.
I think they would just straight peel, yeah.
Yeah. But this rock, it's got to come higher. You've got to hope that it's going to jam somewhere.
Yeah.
I'd go higher than that. There's a double available on the red, so you don't have to be shot or even second here. I'm not sure why you'd even think about hitting the back one. Oh, he's okay. I get what they're looking at. Try to tap it in behind the yellows, and maybe you get a jam that way. Tough shot.
Yeah, no kidding. But what's even tougher is you need 4 and you've got 2 rocks to play with, and they've still got.
Well, this has to come in, but I think you come in to just touch the center line, just bite the 8 foot. You do not have to be in. They keep looking at trying to come in. That you don't have to be that far in. I think you want this high enough that there's a chance it could jam on either one of those reds. The tighter you bring it in, the harder it is to jam on the one at the back 4 foot, because it probably clips the one at the top of the button on the way by. I mean, you're hoping against hope here. You need a break for sure. Yeah, I don't like playing anything on that red one. That just takes away one of your jam possibilities. The hardest shot you can find for the least possible reward.
Right, that's exactly. Pretty hard to miss this.
Yeah, I mean, just needs to make one of the yellows go away.
Yep.
And they're lined up in such a way that you make contact with that yellow at the top of the button, the back one is going. Even if you were to hit it on the, if we look at the overhead side, the right-hand side where it was going to drag a bit, you'd still be pretty hard pressed to dead stick it on that back one. You hit it anywhere on the other side, if there's any drag at all, it clears it by lots.
Yeah.
So a chance for Cory, Thiesse, just make one yellow one go away, and they will move on to the semifinals. Makes the hit for good measure. She's going to make the double.
Mm-hmm.
And that runs Davies and Richards out of rocks. Thiesse and Dropkin with the win here in the quarterfinals. They will move on to the semis in, what are we looking at for time? About 2 hours time?
I think so, yeah.
So on behalf of myself, Sean Joyce, my broadcast partner here this morning, Terry Corbin, and our production what do we call him? Production manager? Let's just call him on production, Connor Sims. It's been a pleasure to bring you this quarterfinal game, as it's been a pleasure to bring you the event all weekend long. Still a couple of draws left to go, semifinals and finals, to determine a champion here at the Saville Mixed Doubles Classic on Curling Stadium, Edmonton.
Live curling rocks. And this November, the best in the world are coming to Tahoe. Get your seats now at gsoctickets.com. But hurry, early bird pricing ends soon.
Hey guys, what can I get started for you today?
Bananas away, regular?
And I'll have the rip berry, but can I get vanilla oat milk and I'll add spinach and ginger? And can I substitute the raspberries for strawberries? Also add the chia and hemp seed, and definitely have the power booster and the collagen booster. And can I get that blended twice?
Wow.
For Alicia, Custom Chaos?
One of a kind.
You're one of a kind.
Booster juice, freshly made your way.